Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I want to try doing some portrait photography, and not just any portrait photography, self-portrait photography. I've taken pictures of people in the past. I've done like a camera club. They had a couple of models in and we tried to take photos of them. I was really pleased with the photos that I came out with. However, I don't particularly like taking photos of other people when I know that they're waiting for me, if that makes sense. Like, they're watching what I'm trying to do. I wanted to try it again, but to do it in a way that I would feel a bit more comfortable with. So I thought I'd take pictures of myself, which I'm saying more comfortable with. I'm not comfortable with actually being behind the camera and not in front of it. But I thought we'd give it a go, and I want a couple of pictures that I can use on my video images for when you click on it as well. So I thought that might be a good thing that we could try and start with, and then maybe looking into something a bit more creative, but we'll see how we get on. We're in my bedroom because my walls are painted quite a dark grey colour, and I thought that might make quite a good background. I just want plain grey background because I want to focus on the lighting. I've got two skylights, one here and one on the other side, which I think will give really nice natural lighting. So we're going to need a camera, tripod, and my face. And we'll see how we get on. So let's go. Okay, so I think it's going to take a bit of adjusting. Effectively, I want it to be zoomed in a little bit more, I want it to be positioned right. When you can't quite see what you're doing, it's a bit of a playing around game. This is where it would be handy if I had one of those screens that like came out so that you could see it from the front of the camera, but I don't. So I'm going to keep playing around, and then until I've just got it where I want it. And I need to remember where I need to stand then in order to do that. And then we can start playing around with some things and have a bit more fun. So my problem at the moment is that because it's just looking at the black wall, it's not sure where to focus. So when I press the shutter button, it's not got anything to focus on. And then I stand in front of it and then I'm not in focus. This is where the problem of doing it on your own is. Because if I had somebody else, I'd just get them to stand there or them to press the button. So I kind of need something there that I can get it to focus on, and then I can press the shutter button, move it out of the way, and then stand there. But I don't know what. What about another tripod? Given that I have 4, even though I don't really use tripods. I'm not quite sure how that's happened. So there's a few things to think about when you're doing portrait photography. One is your background. I've got a plain background. That's kind of what I want for these images, partly because I'm possibly going to cut myself out on Photoshop to put against another picture for what I'm using it for, but also I just don't really want the distractions. Second is your lighting. I've got lots of natural lighting, particularly when the sun comes out, which is working quite well for me, so I don't need anything, any additional lighting. Although there's flashes on the camera, they're never that great. You kind of want a bit of diffused light if you can, but definitely worth playing around with lighting. So you've got your lighting, your background, then you've got your subject. That's then the question of what they're going to wear, how they're going to look. You also want to get your camera set up. The good thing about this kind of photography is that once you've got it set up, you don't really need to change it unless you're really experimenting with something. Let's just have a look, shall we? Mine is on 1/30th of a second, f6.3, and ISO 400. So once that's set up, it's pretty much good to go. Finally then is working out what photos you want to take, how you want to pose, what the message is you're trying to send. So I think something that really makes an image work a lot of the time is understanding what it is you're actually trying to say with the photo. So this one I'm wanting to talk about composition, so I'm going to be looking more at hand gestures. The first picture I want to take is for my thumbnail for my video on composition, which I should have already posted when you see this video. And I kind of got it in my head that I want to do like a crop sign with my hands, like that. I just realised I've not got my glasses on. How have I got up and not put my glasses on? So when I first get up, I don't tend to put my glasses on. I put them on as I go out of the house. I should probably put those on. 2 seconds. Ha! Now I look like me. That's weird. I have no idea how I completely forgot to put my glasses on. It just feels really awkward. I mean, it's nice because there's not somebody watching me doing it because I'm just in my house, but it feels really awkward taking photos of myself. Okay, so I took the first set of photos. I kind of like them. You can really see my double chin, which I don't like so much. But it's also just showing like this much of my face. But I guess that's because my hands are maybe aren't far enough away, but I've only got little arms. Gonna have another go though. I'm gonna stretch my arms out further and try and pull my face back a bit and try and hide some of this bit if I can. So let's go. It's a bit annoying having to reset every time, and for some reason when I've put it on the timer, it remembers the timer for that go, and then I have to put it on again next time. I'm gonna try and use my hair to cover up my double chin. I know one of the secrets to it is if you have your camera up higher, so you are up quite high because I've got you resting on something, which means that you can't see this. If the camera's lower down, you can see more of it. It would be a bit annoying, but I wonder if I should squat down and try and, because my tripod only goes this high, I can't. Can I? Oh, hang on. Does this? Ooh. Now, if you're in a situation where it's windy, this is not a good idea because it's not very stable. But given that we're inside, this might work. Give me a minute. Let's try it. That's definitely got rid of some of the double chin. Not all of it, but there's quite a bit there, so I can only ask for so much. Okay, what I also need is some just of me putting various facial expressions, because then I can apply those to whatever images I'm putting on my YouTube cover images. Is that the word? Keep forgetting the word. So I'm going to do that quickly. Plus I've got a shirt on now, if you hadn't noticed, because it looks nice. Just my vest top. Although it's quite warm in here and I've got the windows shut, because my neighbours were being quite noisy in their gardens and I didn't want you to hear that. Anyway, let's do that. I was taught this tip a while ago, can't quite remember by who, but if you've got quite a flabby chin like I am, in fact I think in photos everyone can end up with a double chin, is to put your head forward and down, and that tends to hide it. I forgot to do that, I hadn't been thinking about it, it just came to me, so I'm going to try and do that just for a couple of photos. Okay, enough of me just posing and trying to pull faces that I think might be useful. Probably none of them will be appropriate for what I want at the time anyway. I'm going to go get those cameras and take a couple of photos of that, and then we'll do something a bit more fun and creative. This is going to be a little sneak peek into what's coming up at some point. I don't have a schedule for how I film videos though. I tend to just do what I feel like at the time. So I don't know how long it'll be until you see this, but it will be useful to have these photos. So this should be fairly quick because I only need one set of images for each camera. I just have to show you opening this because it makes me excited every time, even though it's going to give away a bit of one of my other videos. How cool is that? I need to give it a bit of a clean up really. Hopefully the dust won't show on the camera. Okay, that's that one. And my third camera. Look at this. So cool. Right, let's go. Those are funny, I like those ones. Now I want to do something a bit artsy, and I'll probably come back to this at some point to explore, because I've had some ideas of various different things I want to do, but one, I don't have very much time, and two, I think I need to think through a bit more what it is I'm trying to actually do so that I can properly get what's in my mind rather than just having a vague vision and then winging it, which is what I normally do. So there's a couple I want to do hiding behind my hands, which I'm probably going to take my glasses off for. Then I just need to remember to put them back on again. at some point. And then there's a couple I want to do with a bit of makeup, but I don't want to put too much makeup on because I then got to get it off again before I go out. So let's try hiding behind my hands first, because that's going to be easier and hopefully fairly quick. The problem is you take the photos and then you go, oh, I could just tweak that, and oh, I could just tweak that. So then you do it again. Is it flow state they call it, when you kind of get lost in what you're doing and trying to achieve the thing that you want to achieve? I feel like that's kind of what I'm getting to with this, and I would be in if I hadn't put a time restriction on myself and tried to film this morning. Do I want to change what I'm wearing? That's the question. Yeah, 2 seconds. I just want to put on this white shirt. I had a bit of a tough time at work a few months ago, and this is kind of a bit of my rebellion to to my old job. Got to remember no smiley face in this one. See, this is the thing, like I had a picture in my mind of how it's gonna look. Does not look like that. Okay, I'm thinking of doing God. This is just eyeshadow, by the way. Okay, I'm going to do one without my glasses on and one with my glasses on. Problem is I need to remember where to put my fingers. I need to press the shutter and I need to move the tripod out of the way. Fingers crossed. I actually did, but I think I just want to change, so I've got it in portrait, I want it in landscape because my arms are out. But one more with my glasses. Just make my hair messy. Where are those fingers? There. I've got this all over my face now. It's going to be on everything else as well because it's on my fingers. It's quite fun, you know, and it's interesting to see what you can come up with. Oh, that's come off easier than I thought. I definitely want to play around with this a bit more artistic, with some time to play around, maybe with a bit more makeup. And I don't normally wear makeup. I'm not a makeup-y person really, but I do have some for the fancy occasions. So I definitely want to try and use that again and maybe play around with my hair a bit more. It's fun and it's a good way of being creative without needing to like paint. Yeah, let me know what you think down below. Are you going to give it a go? Have a bit of fun, and you can do it from home, so on a rainy day maybe that's a good time to do it when you can't get out and about. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. If you do, please give the video a like, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye!